This young minister has been accused of child sexual abuse. He's an outstanding member of the community, widely respected and well-liked. He has no criminal record of any sort. Is he guilty? You decide.
I was a youth minister, an assistant minister. It was a rather small congregation for our community, around 200 to 300 people, at best 300. And I feel the needs of an assistant pastor, an associate minister, a deacon, and the highest being elder pastor, and working with the youth of the congregation. He was a kid at church, underprivileged. He came in with a group of other children, and I reached out and tried to help him as no one else would. And just like the kids that normally are underprivileged, they try to take advantage of people who help them. Obviously, he has a lot of disturbances, mental problems. I think if you'll look in his records, he was even in a mental institution for 3 years before coming to church. Before being in the boys' home. He has a criminal record anyway. Yes, I think ministers are victimized by false reports. They have a very sensitive job. They are out there working with people constantly. They're alone, many times unsupervised. The only person with them, of course, would be the minister and the child, or the minister and the accusing victim, if you will. So who's to say that the minister didn't do it? 80% of the time, I would say, the victim is believed more than the minister. And it's because of all the heightened hoopla over victims and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. Ministers too much are victimized themselves for their kind deeds. People want to get money out of them if they're a little bit successful. Then their entire reputation is shot. They go back into the ministry, and they may say they trust them, and they're never totally trusted again. Their entire education, work, whatever they've gone through for years has gone down the drain, never to be fully restored, never to be fully recapacitated as what was before. It's a shame. And it's extremely discouraging. I have spent 2 years in seminary. I am the youngest deacon of the Methodist Church in the state. And it's absolutely, all of that prior effort and work, my entire life dream, the hopes of my parents, is now being questioned. I only hope God deals mercifully with them.
What's the truth? Was he falsely accused, as he claims?
I had 53 hands-on definite victims, and there are 42 other ones that can be questioned as far as age and so forth is concerned. I have 53 minor victims.
There's been a tremendous increase in child sexual abuse reports in the last decade. Some of the accused have been highly respected members of the community. Many people wonder whether such respectable citizens could be child abusers. This film will explore this whole issue. Can you tell if someone is a child molester by their standing in the community, how well you know them, or how aggressively they deny it?
In fact, did you molest Mikey?
Yes, I did. I molested Mikey on numerous occasions throughout a 3-year period, from the time beginning at 9 until he was 12 years old. I knew Michael before he began coming to the congregation where I attended. I worked many times with the people in his area with problem children. As an older teenager, I would go out and assist people in the boys' homes and so forth for little small things like baseball games, softball games, etc. And as a matter of fact, I chose him because he was as a victim, because he was a problem child, because people neglected him and oftentimes pushed him aside, and I knew it would be easy for me to get close to him. be his friend, if you will. And then, again, I also knew if he told, that there would be little or small amounts of belief in him. No one would believe him, basically, if he told. And in fact, they didn't. When he did tell, and when it became a bigger issue, when I was investigated, the head of the department of my county told me, he said, "You have nothing to worry about." He said, "We can tell from the very beginning that this is all a big scheme," and it was dropped almost as quickly as it came about. I was caught twice before I was incarcerated. Really, it wasn't being caught; it was I was told on twice before being incarcerated. They were not believed the first 2 times. I had many people, counselors, church leaders, leaders of the community, to come up and stand in my defense several times in those occasions, and it was simply just totally disbelieved. Even the second time, it was more stood out against than the first time, because they thought, well, here he goes again, this young man trying to help unfortunate children, and they're turning against him. And I was even told as much as say, I had a minister come to me and tell me, he said, "Patrick, what's going on is you'll run across it many times. People you try to help will stab you in the back." He said, "Roll with the punches, stick with it, you're doing a good job." He said, "And in the end you'll be blessed for it."